Hi, welcome to mycarvist.com. You're looking at a 1961 Corvette. Okay, we're back again, mycarvist.com, with my 1961 Corvette. I've owned this 1961 Corvette since 2000. It only has 70,000 original miles. We'll show you a close-up of the instrumentation and gauges in a moment. Take a look at the beautiful paint on this car. It was painted approximately 20 years ago by the previous owner. (1961) is the last year for the two-tone paint. You'll notice the white paint on the side of the vehicle. It's that's called the Cove. The rear plastic, you can see through it fine. The chrome is excellent on the car. Again, this engine is the 283 cubic inch, 230 horsepower engine. For 1961, there were only 283 engines. This one was the standard motor with the lowest horsepower rating. After this, they had two different options with two 4-barrels, one with a hydraulic cam and one with a solid lifter cam. And then they also had the top-of-the-line fuel-injected vehicle. Sometimes people get confused about the matching numbers and so forth. What a matching number means on a Corvette, which started late in 1960, is they have a vehicle identification number, which we're going to pan down and show you right now, which is on the steering post on a 1961. And that's the vehicle identification number. You'll notice the last 6 digits, 106896, is verifying that this car, final assembly, was April 1st, 1961. Continuing with matching numbers, and what that means is on the engine block itself, which you won't be able to see in this video. However, if you need verification of that, I do have a close-up photo that I'd be glad to email you. But the vehicle identification number of the engine, those last 6 digits that I just read to you, would also be on the front engine pad on the left side of the engine block. That's to verify that that was the engine that was put in the vehicle when the vehicle was built. The engine block casting date C101, which is March 10th, 1961. The engine number again is 1106896 F0321CQ. CQ stands for the 230 horsepower, and again the 106896 is part of the vehicle identification number. Assembly of the engine was March 21st, 1961 in Flint. And this all makes sense because it was just prior to the final assembly. The actual frame of this car was produced and put together sometime at the latter part of February 1961. I have all the components documented on this vehicle throughout. So again, if you want verification of that, I'll be glad to email you with all the numbers and casting numbers and dates throughout the vehicle, including the glass, the 411 rear axle on the vehicle, which is really great with this small block because it really gets up and goes. This car is a show winner. Over the 12 years I've owned the car, I only really brought it to one Corvette show. There were quite a few Corvettes in this class. This is the first generation Corvette, and it actually did take a first place. So again, this was done about 20 years ago, the paint. It's a frame-on restored car. It's not a frame-off restoration. We'll show you the undercarriage in a moment, and you'll see how clean it is and how original it is. There's absolutely no rust. It's very, very solid. Let me just crank this car over for you real quick. You can hear it. want you to take a look at the dashboard. You'll notice that the tachometer is working. It's a mechanical tachometer. It's working properly. And if my camera person can get in close, you'll see the original mileage on this car of 70,154 miles. And take a look at the oil pressure all the way on the right-hand side. That oil pressure gauge, you'll see it's got wonderful oil pressure. The engine was rebuilt also back about 20 years ago. The radio also works on this vehicle. Assistant, if you can help me, just turn the radio on. It's the left knob there on the top and just spin it to the right. That's it. It's going to take a few moments for it to actually come on because it's a tube radio, which most people have no idea what that is. It's not electronic. They're actually tubes that warm up. It's called a wonderbar radio because there's a bar above the numbers, the numerical numbers, and you push that and it'll actually go to the next. It's kind of like the modern scan of today.
Getting into the currency markets a little bit more because there's long-lasting trends typically in those currency markets, and I have the opportunity.
So you get an idea that the radio does work on the vehicle. The fan motor works. The directionals work. The high beams, the windshield wipers, everything works on the vehicle. So you can take this car if you want to drive it cross country. Be my guest. You can see how nice the interior is. The dash pad, it's not cracked, it's not shrunk like some of them get. The paint on the dashboard is beautiful. The steering wheel's in great shape. I think it's got a couple of tiny little nicks around, but you wouldn't have to restore it. You can show this car just the way it is. Even your rugs and everything, it happens to have floor mats on it now. I can pull these out for you so you can take a look. And let me just pull out one of the floor mats. You'll see this has the original type rugs. These, of course, are not original to the car. They were put in, again, also around 20 years ago. They're called salt and pepper because of the black and the red. And that's the way they are. So actually, when you go to a car show, you got to pull out those goofy floor mats anyway so the judges can see it. Car has seat belts. No shoulder belts in these years. No power steering, no power brakes, and they never had air conditioning. It wasn't available as an option. All right, this is the trunk of my 1961 Corvette. It's got the original red trunk mat. I want to show you in here, there's a reason I'm showing you this. A lot of these Corvettes, people don't take the time to make sure that it has the right equipment in the back and underneath that mat. Again, you'll notice the original wood board that covers the spare tire with the positive traction warning and also the jacking instructions. Right over here is actually part of the jack. This is the lug wrench. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the spare tire on this vehicle. So here's what it looks like when you open up, and that's the way it should be. An original equipment. This happens to be the wide white wall. This was the last year, 1961, of those wide white walls. 62, they went to the small, narrow white wall tires. You'll notice the wheel is painted to match the body. That is correct. Sometimes you'll see black rims. The reason being is the restorer didn't realize how it should be. It should be body color. Now, if the car was black, then the rim should be black. If the car's red, the wheel should be red. If it's white, they should be white. And as you can see, I have the jack also for it. All right, this is the hardtop to the 1961 Corvette. I want you to see that. And you see the paint on this, how beautiful it is. This matches perfect. It's red. It's got the correct white headliner to it. Now, some of these hardtops, believe it or not, are on the market. So some of these first generation Corvette. Okay, this is the original 411 rear in the car. Take a look. You'll see the original, the corners here. These are called rebound straps underneath the rear axle. Those are all in great condition on both sides. Now this is the left side frame rail. You can see it's even stamped. That's cool for the shows. 22861, like I mentioned earlier. And it's got the vehicle identification up there on it. We go around, you can take a look. You can see how clean this really is. Again, for a frame on restored car. It was never frame off. You can take a look at the undercarriage here, and right up towards the front with the A-frames. By the way, it's got new kingpins on the car. I noticed the front end when I was driving, it was a little bit on the loose side, so we put brand new kingpins in the vehicle, align the car, and you can drive down the street at 60 miles an hour, let go of the steering wheel, and it tracks perfectly straight. Okay. All right, now this is the right frame rail. You'll notice while you're looking too at the exhaust, you can see it looks fairly new. I did that back in 2006. It's got an off-road exhaust. I purchased that through Corvette Central. It's got a brand new drive shaft and universal joints. I was getting a little bit of a vibration at higher speeds, so I put a brand new balanced drive shaft in the vehicle and new U-joints. So again, you can see the pan is in nice condition. And everything looks really good. It's tight and solid, no rust. So that was our little walk around on this 1961 Corvette, matching number engine, most components. Go to my website, mycarvist.com, and you can look up the vehicle. You'll see that it's more than competitively priced. I've seen these in the market in the low 30s, and they usually need everything. I've also seen them in the 60s and 70s, and my car is considerably less than that. So take a look at it. I think the first person that comes to look at the car, drive the car, will buy the car. So contact me. Go to mycarvist.com. My name is Bill. Thanks so much for checking out my car today. Have a great day.